Did you start?
Yeah.
Did you press start?
I did.
Okay, we'd like to welcome you to Fabric Chicks Live at noon. Today we're going to be showing you how to do a hexagon table runner. So, hi Fran, hi Christy, hi Mary Lou, hi Peggy, hi everybody. Okay, so today we're going to be showing you how to do this is the table runner. This one I demoed before, and I should have grabbed the sample, but I'll show you it again on Wednesday. This is the one that we're going to be showing you today in case you need to make a quick Christmas tree skirt. So what you need is you need 1.5 yards. So the other table runners that you guys made with the 60-degree ruler, you needed 1 yard. Unless you had a long table, if you had a long table, you might want to get 1.5 yards so that you could just keep adding onto it to the size that you want. But so you need a 60-degree ruler, and then we need a tree skirt at our house. So we're going to make this sample up real quick. You can either just do it as a complete quilt, a wall hanging, a table quilt, or a tree skirt. So you need the 60-degree ruler. You need 1.5 yards of a border print that has 4 repeats. So I know some of you got kind of confused a little bit or mixed up because your repeat was more than the normal one. So when you look at a border print, you just want to make sure that you have 4 repeats. So it's easy to tell because you can see the red 1, 2, 3, 4. So I know on this, by looking at it, it's 4 repeats. So you're going to cut each repeat at the same spot. I cut down here, well I didn't, Greta did. Thank you, Greta. I cut the selvage off, and then the repeat is to here. So it's going to look like this. So you're going to have 4 repeats like this. And then you're going to lay it down, and the first one, you might have to get up a little bit closer, Roger. The first one is going to be kind of tricky because you have to start the angle. When you first start, it's just a straight edge. So I'm just going to lay this up here to the point, okay? And then I would just cut this off right here. Does that make sense? I'm going to cut this off right here, and then that will start my angle. I don't want to waste fabric since I've already started this one. So I'm going to do it from this. What I just told you is just how to get started. So you're going to flip your ruler over, and you're going to line it up here with the point. Your point's going to be right at the edge of your fabric, and then line it up here, and then you're just going to cut it. And then I need a new blade. It's hard to come by at a fabric store. Then the next cut, you're going to flip your ruler upside down, okay? And then I'm going to flip it again, except for I'm going to cry because there's not enough fabric here. So this is just a wasted piece. Maybe I'll make like a mug rug with it, or a smaller 60-degree. I might make a smaller 60-degree and make table placemats or something. You never know. Don't throw anything away, because I've got some good chunks here. I've already cut 3 rows, so I've got a few good chunks here. I'm sure I can make something with it, a pin cushion as a freebie or something. So then I'm going to take you over here do we have any comments? Is Diana Hensley watching? Diana Hensley said if her name pops up, I can bring her on live so we can try it out. Because it just tells me that, like, Rondi Reeves is watching, and I can bring her on camera. Laura Bellardo, I can bring her. Diana, it doesn't give me the option to bring. Diana, do you have an iPhone or a Mac product? I think maybe that might be it. Maybe it only, because it says you're watching, Diana, but it doesn't give me the option to bring you on. Katie, do you have your makeup on? I can bring Katie on. I can bring Betsy on. Linda, Katrina. So they must have, I think they must have MacBook, Apple products. So if somebody wants to volunteer to be brought on, just so we can see how this works, to bring you guys on live.
Diana's on.
I know she's on, but it doesn't give me the option to bring her on. I already asked her if she'd be willing to, but I think she doesn't have I don't think she has an iPod or an iPhone or an whatever. That would be my guess.
Apple.
An Apple product. That would be my guess, that you have to have an Apple product to mesh with bringing you on live. So anyway, so follow me over here, and then I'm going to show you. I got a little bit of homework done because I've got Marge and Greta doing, trying to get your guys' boxes. Look at, we're getting so professional. We've got racks and things so we can keep you organized. So I cut out all of my triangles, and then I laid them here in order. So the pattern tells you right here which way to lay them out. So you're going to lay out your hexagons like this. Can you see them? So this is what half of my tree skirt's going to look like. Okay, so I got them kind of moved apart so that you can see where they're going to sew. So I'm going to flip this over, and I'm going to sew a 1/4 inch seam allowance, and then I would sew from here to here, and then when I flip it over, it's going to lay like this. And then when I have this whole row sewn together and this whole row sewn together, then I'll sew the 2 rows together. So that's kind of your demo for the Triangle Frenzy hexagon. But then I also have, and it's, girls, it's not giving me any comments. It's just allowing me to bring you on the camera. So I guess that's what Facebook has decided is important now, is just, oh, Diana says she's on an iPhone and an iPad. So I don't know, Diana, I don't know why Facebook is not giving me that option with you. I don't know. I'm not a techie person, so I don't know why. Sometimes it allows people who I don't even know who they are. It says I can bring them on camera. So I'm not sure. Katie says she's not coming on today because I'm going to have enough of her tomorrow. She's coming into the shop tomorrow and Wednesday, so we can figure out how to fix. She did this table runner, but I think maybe she had more rows on her fabric, maybe like 5 rows, so I think maybe that might be confusing her, but you never know. So she's going to come in, so we'll see what her confusion is in case, and we'll do a little live so that we can cover it in case you have the same confusion, because I know there were a couple of you that had issues with that.
Laura Verado wants to know, can you use solid pattern fabric and not a panel?
You could, Laura. The only thing is that if you use like alternating, you could use like an alternating fabric. The reason that this is so popular is because, can you see how it lines up here? So it creates like its own design, the way it's cut, and then because every time you cut it, see, I cut this one this way, and then when I cut this one, it's a different variation when you cut it. So that's what the beauty of the 60-degree border prints are. But I do think you could use any fabric you wanted. You just would get a different design. Oh, and Diana Hensley, the big light pad is 13 by 13.5 inches. So let me know if you still want one. Hi, Teresa. Welcome to our craziness. So if you're new, every Monday and Wednesday we do tips, tricks, demos, and then on Friday we do a live sale at noon. So just join Facebook at noon, and then you can see live tips, tricks, demos. Sometimes we do interviews of other people. And if you have a question on something, we try to demo it again. So today I've got a couple other demos to do. One, because Karen is home and she needs to know how to do pine needles. So we're going to do a quick demo on pine needles again. And then I'll show you, I've also got a quilt that I've got mitered corners. So I'll show you how to do that, but Gracie's helping somebody and I need her cutting table. So let's do the pine needles first.
Christmas critters that think that she's done. Let's get out of here for a second.
Okay, I had it ready to do it the other way, but we can just redo it. So these are for dimensional pine needles. Let's see. And I put my thread on a thread stand and then bring it down. So I'm going to be using 12 weight thread. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask them. Sorry, I gotta lick my thread to get it through the needle. It never will go through if I don't. Okay. So these are gonna be dimensional pine needles, so I hope Karen's watching. So if you're new to this, always mark your stabilizer. I have a wash away here. I wasn't sure if it was a wash away, tear away, they all kind of look the same. So make sure you keep your paperwork with it. Otherwise, you'll cry if you use, if you think you're using wash away and you do a ton of thread painting and then you go to wash it away and it doesn't wash away, you're going to be heartbroken and you're going to cry because it's hours of work sometimes. So always label. I did not label it. I did not take my own advice. So I took this part over to the sink and got it wet to see if it would disintegrate. So this is wash away. So if you're new to this and you're not comfortable, you could take your wash away and you could draw a pine needle on it. So I'm going to draw a limb real quick. And I personally don't draw the limbs myself because I just kind of wing it. But look, it doesn't have to be a perfect limb. You just need an idea of where you're going to be going. And then you're going to want black tulle. And if it bunches up, you don't care because you're going to be washing it away and manipulating it. So you don't care. Okay, so we're going to just put this right here. And what you're going to be creating is this right here. So I like the 12 weight threads. 12 weight cottons is what I typically use when I do pine needles. You could also use 30 weight rayon. I have a really fun rayon that I do like to use for the pine needles sometimes. So then I'm going to put my tulle on top of it. And I use black tulle. You could use like a blue tulle if you wanted because they're going to be going in the sky. I like the black tulle because it just has a shadow. Oh, and I did totally just change my needle for the other demo. So
Mary Vitti says, label everything. Why do you know this, Beth?
From experience. It wasn't me though. It was Cindy Gygax was at one of our retreats, and she was so generous. I think we ran out of wash away and we needed more from the shop. So she let somebody borrow her wash away until we could get her some more because she wasn't ready for that step. And then what happened is the person who borrowed her wash away accidentally replaced it with tear away. And so poor Cindy spent hours making the perfect trunk with all these fabulous fibers. And then she stitched on top of it for like an hour. Stitch perfectly. And then she went to the sink to wash away the stabilizer, and it wouldn't wash away. It was so tragic. I think Cindy and I stayed up till like 4 o'clock in the morning ripping that whole thing out. Now, if it had been me, I would have thrown the whole thing away and just started over. But it was the perfect fibers, and she had been so generous. She'd given out all the rest of her fibers, so she didn't have any to back up. So she had to rip it out. So we had a good time. Okay, so you're going to want a free motion foot, which is this foot right here. I don't know if you can get in close to that. And then I'm just going to start right here on the edge. And make sure you put your presser foot down. Sometimes it's hard to tell because your presser foot doesn't go all the way down. If you don't stay right on the line, you don't care. Because you're going to wash it away. You're not even going to know there was a line. And I usually like my branches pretty thick, so I might go over them a couple of times. So typically I would just come down here and I would sew another branch. I would sew a ton of branches all at the same time because I don't want to have to keep changing my threads. But for demo purposes, I'm just going to do one tree. I'm just going to do one branch, okay? So just because Karen's at home and she is working on this project and she needs to know how to do a pine needle. So if there's anything you need, let us know and we'll try to work it into our demos during the week. So this is another 12 weight thread. What's your question, Grace?
I need you to cut batting.
Okay, what kind of batting do you need?
Just bamboo, 100%.
Can you do it upstairs?
No.
Okay, then can you take everybody on a tour of the shop?
Yep.
Okay, Gracie's going to take you guys on a tour of the shop. So if you're new, you realize that you have to be flexible because we're also running a shop for walk-in customers. And so Gracie doesn't know how to cut batting, or she doesn't feel like cutting batting, one of the two. So she's going to take you on a little tour of the shop while I run upstairs and cut some batting. And then we will finish the pine needles.
Penny Barber wanted to know what are you using in the bobbing?
I have 80 weight deco bobbin the bobbin, but typically I would probably use a 40 weight because I want more bulk in the tree branch. So typically I would use a 40 weight brown in the bobbin. Okay, take them on a tour, Gracie. Gracie's going to take you on a tour of the shop while I go get some batting. 80-20?
Whatever.
Okay.
Got it. Alrighty, so a little tour. I'm just gonna go over everything that's new. And yeah, because we haven't really moved anything.
So you can use it for something else.
This is new, this horse panel.
I think 13.
I believe I showed this to you last time.
Okay.
But there's that. And then there's all the fabrics that go with it. Actually, I have no clue where those are. Oh, there's the horse. So there's like the horse that goes with it. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. This is pretty much. Oh, hi guys.
Hey, we're out of the way.
This is pretty much our Frida room. Most of our Frida is in here. So we have the Frida Day of the Dead. Just Frida. And then little baby Fridas. Or just mini Fridas.
Hold it up the other way.
The other way?
No, from this end.
This end. That doesn't work, Dad. I can go that way.
That's what I meant.
Cindy, in case I know you love Frida, so that one's is relatively new. We have some Ruby Star in that corner.
Easter?
Ruby, like a red gem, and then like a star. And then we have In the Beginning, so mixed with Urban Jungle, you know? Yep. That's what I'm saying. Cool. Our trims are in there. These are our wide backs and some little minky type fabrics. I'm doing great. Yep. In case you guys need tours, just let me know. Oh, and perfect. Cheers. Okay. Bye, guys.
Okay, so hopefully that was entertaining. So this is kind of a project up here, if you can show them. This is where you would use the pine needles that we're demonstrating. So we've got pine needles up here, and then they're right here. And they're just attached down the center so that this is dimensional. And then we should have a Lake Tahoe quilt. I don't know what happened to the Lake Tahoe quilt. Okay, so I'm going to show you the rest of this demo with pine needles, and then hopefully Gracie is done so I can cut the mitered. I'm so nervous to cut the mitered corners, except for that I did do it last week on 2 of them, and they came out perfect. So I think we got it handled, but you guys might make me nervous. Okay, so I've got 12-weight cotton thread here, and then I'm just going to bring it here. And so if I was actually doing this for real, I would have a whole row of branches because I don't want to waste my stabilizer. I don't want to waste my time. I don't want to, so I streamline it. I do a bunch of them, kind of like a sweatshop, do a bunch of them at once. And I always pick up my bobbin thread. And if you know me, you know I don't always, but in a perfect world I would. But I rush a lot, so sometimes I don't, but it helps to not get a nest on the bottom. So I'm just going to come down here to where I have a branch, and then I'm just going to come back and forth. And you can make them as sparse or as thick as you want. Sometimes trees are kind of, the pine needles are kind of sparse because they have a bug. And if your stabilizer, if your wash away bunches, don't worry about it. I rather you can get a thicker one like you use for embroidery. I don't like the thicker one because it just takes longer to wash away. So I just use this Pellon. It's pretty flimsy, but I don't care, it's going to wash away. So you're just really scribbling. Don't overthink it. It's nothing too exciting. Okay, and then I'm going to cut this out, and then I'm going to wash it away. Okay, so I'm going to just wash this away. So here's what it looks like, which is kind of like the original one that I showed you. And then I'm just going to take this over to the sink.
You raised that up pretty quickly.
Oh, sorry. You want me to hold it again?
Yes.
Oh, you got it.
No.
So here's what it looks like before it's washed away.
Where is it? Oh.
And do you have any questions? Because on mine it just says bring people on board.
Okay.
Okay, so then I'm going to, and I really would kind of wash this away, only because I would cut it away because I'm not really that patient when I'm washing. So, and I don't want all that glue and stuff to get down into my septic tank or the sewer, I guess, but really I worry about my septic tank at home.
Cindy loves your nails.
Oh, thank you. It's almost time to get new ones. Cindy Gygax, are hers purple?
Cindy Kuhn.
Oh, hi Cindy, how are you? Okay, so I'm going to bring it over to my really clean sink. I probably need to do dishes. And I'm just going to put a little bit of soap. And it basically just melts away. Uh-oh, Gracie's got somebody new. Hey, Jan, how are you? I'm just going to put this here. And then I don't typically wash out all of the wash away, only because then it kind of molds it and it holds a shape. So hopefully, Karen, if you have any questions, you can ask me, but I think you should know how to do it now. So here is my little pine needle.
Okay.
Okay, so that's the demo for the pine needle. If you have questions, let me know. And then, oh, did you need it for Christmas? It's just autopilot, right? That's easy. I can get that done. Okay, perfect. Okay, so follow me over here. So I've already sewn these two corners are mitered. I've already sewn these on because I did have to try it to make sure that I could do it before I did it live in front of you. So what I did here is, so you wouldn't have to watch the tedious, time-consuming thing. This is a border print also, just like the hexagon table tree skirt I just showed you. So you're going to take this border print, it's got 4 repeats, and you're going to take it and you're going to cut it the length that you need it. So you need extra. See how I've got extra here? You need extra to line it up. So, and I don't know how people do it with stripes to line it up perfectly. This is not lined up perfectly because it's not really stripes. You know, if you had a stripe up here, I'm not sure how you would line it up, but I think we could have Carolyn Brock demo it because she knows how to do it. So, if you have any skill set you want to share, let me know, and you can demo on a Monday or a Wednesday. So I'm going to take this like this.
Teresa Daparian. So then you can just sew it on to the quilt?
The tree branch? Yes. Yep. We'll do a close-up. Remind me. And we'll do a close-up on that quilt. Okay, so I got to remember, how did I fold this? The hardest part is figuring out how to fold it. So I stopped, when I sewed my borders on, I stopped 1/4 of an inch before I got to the end. So you can see on both this side and this side, I stopped 1/4 of an inch, and I did mark it. I marked it with an iron-off pen. No, honestly, I marked it with just a ballpoint pen. In a perfect world, I would have been able to get my hands onto a iron-off pen, but, you know, I think I was on vacation when I got to this point. So you're going to take these, and you're going to line them up. Why don't you go do a close-up of that tree while I figure out how to line them up again. The pine needles, please. Okay, you showed them a close-up of the pine needles? Are you telling them how amazing it is? Or is it just silence?
It's just silence, honey.
Gracie, honey, while she's doing that, we're gonna go get some lunch and we'll come back.
I'm trying to find the pine needles.
We'll see you in a bit. Now, do I need a copy of that?
sorry, ladies, I'm not as artistic as Beth, so my explanation would not make sense.
It's like awkward silence over there. Are they typing any comments?
It's kind of hard to hold and read, too.
That's pretty wonderful. Like that. Neat. Nice. So then you can just sew it onto a quilt, question mark?
Yes.
Yes. Oh, I see. Hi everyone. Karen says use a ballpoint pen to mark.
I did because that's what I could get my hands on.
Mary Lou said lunch break after this, Roger. The tree quilt is beautiful. You were doing great. Ross is amazing. Love that quilt. Seldom it is a perfect world. Mary,
Okay. Okay,
would you
so
like
you
your
can,
timer to go off?
Yeah.
so you can come back over here now. I don't know where all my marking devices are. So here, get up close, Roger. So what we did is we took the quilt and we folded it in half where the borders line up. So this is one border and this is one border. So those are all on an angle. So it's, and in the pattern you can see that, see how there's some sashing and there's some sashing. So I can hold it here and I can see that that's the angle that I need to be. So I'm going to take this, they're all lined up. In a perfect world. Oh my gosh, I'm so nervous because if I cut this wrong, I'm screwed. Like, really. Except for I have more fabric, so I could fix it. But I'm going to line this up here. And then right here is a 45-degree angle line. Right here on my ruler, it says 45-degree angle. And it's lined up right here with the edge of my quilt. So I believe it's correct. So I'm going to just draw my stitch line. It makes me so nervous. But if I could do it, anybody can do it. So now I'm going to pin it so that it stays together with the other side. And at Fabric Chicks, we only have the best pins, like a big fat T-pin. Just so you know, at my house, I have all the right sewing supplies. Unless I steal them to bring them down here, and then who knows what happens to them. Okay, so I've got it pinned. I'm going to stitch along that pencil line that I just drew. All right, you have any comments or questions? So this, what I'm going to demo is for mitered borders. You have any comments?
I'm trying to see, honey. Leilani says it's so fun to use the wash-away stabilizer with thread texture.
It is a ton of fun, and if you're nervous and you've never done it, like anything in life, you just have to do it. You're not going to mess anything up. The worst that could happen is you waste $2.50 or whatever on some wash away and a little bit of thread. So don't be afraid, just do it. And Leilani, I think that Leilani, I haven't confirmed, but I'm pretty sure, don't ever volunteer for anything because I'll take you up on it. But I'm pretty sure Leilani is going to do a demo from Arizona on how to make those stuffed Christmas trees on this Wednesday. So Wednesday. Yes, Mary Lou, I know. I'm a little bit nervous. Okay, so, especially live. So I'm going to take this. So join us on Wednesday for Leilani's Christmas tree. And if you belong to Fabric Chick Stitch Along, which is on the left-hand side of our Facebook page, then you can get the patterns and different things that we talk about. Okay, all right, I have to change my foot. I probably change my foot like 3 times a day. But at home, just so you know, at home I have 2 machines set up. So I have one that always has a free motion foot and one that has a straight stitch foot. But I think we're getting ready. We're trying to be a little bit more professional. So we're getting ready to set up like an actual studio upstairs for the demos. So then we'll have 2 machines ready so we don't have to, so you guys don't have to watch me struggle with changing my feet. So Leilani's going to be demoing on Wednesday at noon, Facebook, Fabric Chicks Facebook at noon. But then also tune in when I'm done, not before, but when we're done, go get lunch. And then,
Phyllis is here.
Hi
She
Phyllis.
has
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
A pause transaction for 2 yards.
Things are going good with the kitchen.
Good, good.
There's nothing in there.
What?
There's nothing in her thing for 2 yards.
Ask her what she has 2 yards of. It could be an old something that she picked up and somebody might have put it in all fresh because they didn't realize there was a pause transaction.
She said she feels like she got it.
I think she did. I think it was 2 yards of orange chicken feet is what I think it was. Yeah, I think you got that one. I think somebody just didn't do it right.
Oh well.
Yeah.
Oh well, whatever it was, I guess I didn't want it that bad.
Right. Well, if you can't sleep, you know where to come. Okay, so I'm going to start right here.
Leilani says she'll be ready.
Okay, perfect, Leilani. Oh, so join us on Wednesday at noon for the stuffed Christmas trees with Leilani and whatever other surprises we might have or some show and tell. I think that Leilani finished her cornucopia that she painted the background when she was here one day. We did it as a demo. I think she's finished her project. I don't know if she's finished making it into a pattern, but if not, this gives you a day to get it done so that they can order it. But then at 2 o'clock, so you got a little time to go get lunch. At 2 o'clock on the Quilt, Craft, and Sew Festival Facebook page, we'll be going live. There'll be 4 different vendors. Raylene from Quilters Haven will be hosting it. And I think Connie Spurlock, I don't know what I think she's going to be demoing Easy Applique. Although she should do paper piecing again because you guys wanted that demo again. But, so I'll tell Connie maybe on a different day when we interview her.
Okay, going back, Leilani said it's so much fun to use a washaway stabilizer with the thread texture. And Mary Lou responds, yeah, I'd stitch before cutting too.
I think Mary Lou's responding to the mitered corners.
Okay, and then Mary Beatty says, what happens to them?
What happens to what?
I take them home with my stuff, Beth.
Uh-oh, Mary, I don't know. What did you take home with your stuff? Mary Beatty, are you coming to sew? We're having sew days Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So if you want to come any of those days, let me know. So I can make sure we've got a space far enough from other people for social distancing.
2 o'clock, Mary Beatty says.
2 o'clock on Wednesday.
And then she says, can we see this through Fabric Chicks?
I don't know. If I can, I'll share it to the page. Bye, Phyllis. If I can, I'll share it to my page. But I think you might have to go at 2 o'clock to the Rusty Barn, their Quilt Craft Sew Festival page. But afterward, I know you can watch it afterwards, just like you can watch any of our lives afterwards if you can't make it right at 2. Okay, so hold your breath, girls. Hold your breath. So I'm not going to cut it yet, just in case it didn't work. So here we go. I think we can cut it. It's a little bit off, like 1/8 of an inch off, but I think I can steam it out. It's good enough for me. So I can see there's a tiny little pucker right here. And these don't match up perfectly, but it's hard to see through the steam in my mask. So I'm going to just take this here. Oops, can you give me a ruler real quick, Gracie? I'm going to take this right here. Huh? Any ruler. I'm going to take this right here. I'm going to lay it back out. And I'm going to... Oh, I've got one. Sorry. And I'm going to line up on my stitch line 1/4 inch.
Where's the stitch line?
So the stitch line is right here. That's the stitch line that I just did. I didn't do it so straight. But you know what? Quilting will hide a multitude of errors. Like if you guys didn't know I didn't do it straight, you'll never know. Okay, and then I'm going to go iron it. So it looks like this now. And I'm going to iron it. Okay, you got any other comments? Oops, it needs to...
What?
The iron needs to heat up again. Any other comments?
Mary Vita, occasionally have scissors, thread, etc. that don't belong to me.
Mary Beatty probably stole my stuff. That's why I don't have my supplies. Thanks for owning up to it, Mary.
Rhonda Reeves, beautiful. Karen McBriar, very nice. Mary Beatty, Beth, I have a cold, won't be in this week.
Oh, okay. I hope you feel better. Do you still have company over? Or are you done with your company? Okay, so this is it. This is the one that I just sewed. So that's my little mitered corner. And then I'll do another like surprise, except for it's not such a surprise because I'm telling you. But I'll do another live tomorrow because I know that I have Katie in the shop, and so I'm going to demo to them how to do the mitered corners. So we'll video that again tomorrow for this last, I'm going to get as much as I can out of this sample. So for this last mitered corner, we'll do another demo tomorrow at noon just so that the girls that are here can see it firsthand. Okay, do you have any other questions? Join us Wednesday at noon and at 2. And I will post, I'll try to post a link to the Quilt Craft Sew Facebook page or something so that if you guys don't remember where to go, you can go to my page and then it will take you to the right page.
Lalonde Weddle, so we can come and sew on Thursday.
Who is that?
Lynn Weedle.
Yeah, Lynn, you can come Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, whatever you want. I know you're coming to work on Wednesday, but if you rather sew, I'd rather sew.
Lalani says, my cornucopia piece is finished but not attached to the back. The pattern pieces are finished. Rhonda Reeves, please show paper piece again.
Paper piecing?
Yes.
Okay, maybe I'll see if I can get, well, I'll ask Connie to do it, but I'll also see, I know that Phyllis, who was just here, she loves to paper piece. So I'll see if maybe she'll come in and do a demo for us. Let's see.
Carolyn, one of these days I'm going to get that day right.
Gavrinich.
Yes, please post the link.
Okay, and And then Anne, I will send you a half yard of black tulle. Do you need any wash away? I think that I sent you wash away not too long ago. So then you can just sew it on a quilt. Thank you. I have to go today. Okay, Teresa, we'll see you later. Gracie, Fran Harris says hi. Hi, Fran. Okay, so I think I think my comments are going up. Oh, I don't know. Okay, so that's it. I'll go through the comments and then respond to them individually if I think that you still might have a question. And we will see you tomorrow at noon to do the other mitered corner. And then we will have this kit. Roger's saying yippee. But we'll have this kit kitted and ready for Friday's sale. So if you're in love with the kitty cats and the cityscapes, we will have that kit on Friday's sale. Maybe I might get it quilted, but I doubt it because Jan just dropped off 2 more quilts. So we'll have this kit on Friday's sale along with the book. And the book is pretty slick. It's got a bunch of patterns. It's by Jason Yenter in the Beginning Quilts. So it comes with all of these patterns. So it's kind of some fun layouts. It's a pretty nice book. So that'll be on Friday's sale. If you guys have any questions, you can always call us, 775-267-0204. And we will see you tomorrow at noon for a surprise to finish this mitered corner and to show you whatever issues we're having with Katie's hexagon table runner. Have a good day. Bye.